everybody, it's Jean here in my sewing room, and I am working on my collage quilt. This is part 4. Oh no, this is part 5. Oh no. This is part 4 of my collage tutorial, sort of, on how I'm making this pattern, the dress by Laura Heine. If you have been following along, we introduced it with Jen in our first video. My second was showing how you get the pattern, how I got the pattern on my fabric, my background fabric, and I explained that. My third video was showing you my skirt and how I'm doing the pattern for her waistcoat and her arms. Now this video is I'm showing you how we're sort of dressing this girl, how I'm changing it up. As I was saying before, my quilts evolve. My son Eliot, which I explained before, had come into my sewing room, and I made that video a bit shorter. They're about 20 minutes each. I didn't want to make like a 45-minute video. So these little clips of Eliot and I changing the girl up. As I've said before, my quilts at every second change. So you sort of have to follow along. I'm putting my borders on I'm trying to hone in on her head and her headdress, which we'll be addressing. What you see is not the final, product. It's close to it, what Eliot and I have come to. But I'm really honing in. Her face is going to be beautiful. It was interesting because somebody had commented on after video 2, why don't you leave her face blank? In the video, in the pattern, they actually show one eye and a lovely little mouth. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and you have to be, I think, you have to be very careful in collage quilts, not so that they don't look too alien and abstract. The face is so important, but I think instead of leaving it so blank, I'm just doing a little bit of detail. I'll tell you, I'll give a heads up, I'm doing an eye and a mouth and lips. That's it. But again, the final product in this video is not exactly what you've seen. Again, it's evolving. I'm coming back into my sewing room. Eliot's helping me an awfully lot. I'm getting lots of comments and suggestions from people. I really appreciate it. This is so much fun. And I have time to go in my sewing room. My company has gone home. I had Columba for almost a month. It was so lovely. We got her off to the airport on Tuesday. She's back in Italy. It was just so wonderful. So I'm back in my sewing room. She cleaned my house. It was so wonderful. It's just awesome. And I'm working on this quilt. Jen is working on hers. We have had Malia in. We did an unboxing of her sewing machine, but I'm going to be finishing, or not finishing up my collage quilt, because it's going to take some time to bling her out. So I'm just going to be doing the gluing and everything, and I'll probably show you that semi-finished project. I think as I take this into my other room and I bling her out and do that, I think all of the gluey down things, I think that's going to take me a little bit of a while. So I'll just show you what I've done and how I've progressed to the point, and then I actually have to quilt the whole thing. I guess I would put the bling on after I quilt it. Yeah. So maybe I can quilt this, and then I'll have to look that up. I would think so. I would finish it, quilt it, bind it, and then take it and bling it out. Yeah, because you wouldn't want to be rucking all of that through a sewing machine, because I am going to free motion quilt this entire quilt down. It's a little bit heavier. As I was saying, I addressed the fact this is foam deck fabric. It's not that heavy. Not that heavy. I'll use a lightweight batting and a quilting cotton backing for it. And then I'll put a hanging sleeve on it. And somebody said, do I have a wall big enough to hang this up? Of course I don't. My walls are taken. I was saying I'll admire it for a little while, and then I'll probably put it for sale in my shop, but not for cheap, because this is a labor of love, and I really do love this quilt. How she's become my friend. Somebody said, have you named her? And yes, I have. I've named her after a person who asked me if I named her. So this is Patty C. You know who you are. I'm making Patty C, and I think she's so pretty. So this is Eliot and I coming into my sewing room. It was late. We were having fun. Not quite the finished project, but you'll get the idea. Okay, folks, thanks a lot. There probably will be a part 5, maybe a part 6. This is part 4 of my collage quilt. Okay, thanks. See ya. I want to show you what I've chosen for her vest. It's really funky. She's so funky. So I've chosen a black and white, or it's like a black and silver dot, and then I've chosen a zebra print for the other side. Now this bit in here is just a straight piece of fabric, but it looks like it's curved because the actual pattern is curved. And that's like a, I think that's called a fairy frost fabric. It has a bit of glitter in it. It's pretty. And then I think I'm going to do buttons down there. As I said, I'm probably going to bling this out a little bit. But she's coming to life. Her dress, her vest is done. Now I just have to do her head. Figure out her hair. I have to figure out her face. I'm going to do her arm, chest, head, and her legs now. But there's her vest. It's coming along. It's pretty. I like it. I like the black. I like a bit of black. I think it grounds a quilt a bit. This is just such a, you know, like, what the heck are you looking at? And I also might, when I've taken them off, obviously, but when I put the flowers up as a border, it's going to be so much. I might, because this is asymmetrical, or whatever, it's crooked. I might put like, oh, I don't know if I have enough of it. I'll have to see. I might put like a black and white binding on 2 edges, and then a striped binding on another 2 edges to, like, I don't know if I'm going to do that, but keep your eye going around the quilt. And I love black and white stripe binding. I like black and white polka dot binding. So I may do that, change it up a little bit, but I'll see as I go along. I may or may not like that. But yeah, there she is. And as you can see, I've said it again. Look how the dress pops on the neutral background, but it's not neutral. So you have to walk away from a fabric, and I always say, how does it read? What does it look like? What does it read at? You can have a beautiful print, but if you're looking at it 2 foot away from your face, you get it home and you're like, wah, wah, that's boring, or, oh, it's too much. So you always have to walk away from your fabric. I walked away from this fabric at Joann Fabrics, and I thought, yeah, it's going to read neutral. And you're going to be looking, I'm looking at this quilt about 2 foot away right now through my viewfinder, and I just see, I don't see incredibly busy. Obviously, when you get up close, up close, up close, up close, up close, you're going to see images. But when you pull away, when your eye pulls away, and you see it hanging up. Also, a quilt hanging on a wall, hanging vertically, looks a lot different than a quilt horizontally. I always say that. If you're making a wall hanging, sort of try to hold it up. I've already done that with this. I've glued on everything. I've sort of held it up, and it just sort of takes on a whole different look. So, anyway, I'm making progress. All right, thanks. I just wanted to show you what I've just found. I was looking at my quilt. Oops, there goes my phone. And I wanted to bring the black and white into somewhere other than maybe just the binding. Excuse my phone. And I have this fabric. Look at this gorgeous fabric. I've had this forever. Again, I went shopping in my room, and it's this beautiful printed lace, because I was, at the end of the day, perhaps going to add some lace to the bottom of my tiers. But I thought, oh, just let the fabric do the work, right? So I'm just sort of sticking that on. I have to sort of pick up the edges because I glued them on. I'm just messing about with it now. I'll be stitching that down really nice. But I wanted to show you, maybe or maybe not, what I'm going to be doing on her bodice. I found some lovely buttons. Actually, they're not buttons. They're just sort of studs. I might have to hot glue. But I put a little bit of that lace in her bodice. Well, actually, I have to put the skin on first. I haven't done her skin. I've just done that. But I just stuck that on to see what that would look like. I like that. I like that. It's sort of a little modesty panel. She was a bit boobified. So I just cut out a little bit of that thing. I got to take it all off because it's not glued on yet. But I'm looking at the buttons. Maybe I like them, maybe I don't. I like to play around so I get the whole image. I was looking all over my sewing room. I couldn't find my skin colored fabric, but I found it. So now I'm going to concentrate and try to do her head, her face. Bring that down. Her head and her arms really good. They have to be done well. And when I glue and then when I stitch them down. But I like that little bit of lace in there. It looks pretty, doesn't it? Just little touches like that. So that's what I'm doing. I have to finish along here. I just wanted to just get my camera out and show you again. I like the fact that I've brought the black. Oops, piece dropped. Piece dropped here. It wasn't glued. I like the fact that I brought the black into the bottom of my petticoat as a petticoat on the bottom of my skirt. I like that. I think it balances it a lot more. It finishes off the bottom of my quilt, my dress, I should say. So I'm working on my quilt, as you saw. I'm going to try to stick down these black and white ruffles there. Now, I'm now, after I stick everything down, after I glue everything down, I got my pattern out again, and I'm looking at her. I have to put her skin on, which I will do, but I'm looking at her head. Now, my son Eliot came into the room. Now, Eliot's an artist, and he has such a good eye, and he was looking at the dress. He said, "This is fabulous, Mom. It's super, super." And I showed him my lovely flower crown, and he's like, I don't love it. And I'm like, no, I love my flower crown, right? The girl, like the flower crown in her shaggy hair makes her. And he goes, what he sees is a sort of a gypsy, obviously, gypsy dress, funky dress, sort of, as I was saying, sort of a Stevie Nicks of the 70s, like a flowy dress, and then she grabbed a man's waistcoat or a man's vest and put it on. I just have these buttons there. And then it's a nice corseted vest, right? That's what I've come up with. And he goes, well, it's super. I'm going to be making ballet shoes. He said, put ballet shoes on her, like ballet flats or ballet tie-ups. But we're looking at the hair, and he goes, nah, don't put the flower crown. And I'm like, well, what the heck should I put on?
The flower, and this is quite frankly, I think the flower crown doesn't go with this mystique. I think the flower crown, it would be the entire it would, you know, when hippie girls wear it or whatever, they usually wear a super sleek, skinny something or other, and the flower crown is the bombasticness of what she's wearing. But usually when she's wearing something, it doesn't take the focus out of what she's wearing. Usually it's almost like a tannish color, something like almost like Indian, Native American looking dress. You're right.
Then
she's got this big flower crown. You're right. But this is the focus. So what you want to do is, she's quirky, she's hipstery, she's modern bohemian, maybe trying to pop a little bit of high fashion in there with the waistcoat as well. So you put a top hat on her, and then instead of a ribbon, you're doing that small bit of flower crown. So she has that little bit of quirky, high fashion, almost hipstery bohemian. Meets almost like steampunk, like a girly take on steampunk.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
This is exactly what it would be like if you threw into a dark and drab steampunk world. Usually that only has golds, browns, blacks.
Yes.
If you threw a pop of color into it, what would it be? And this is what it would turn out to be.
You're right. So we're going to put a top hat. So look, Elliot's doing. It's doing what I'm doing. So look,
this is the thing I grew up with. Where is the little piece of something or other?
Right here. So yeah.
This is just my initial.
This is a look. This
drawing.
is the look. But I want the top hat bigger.
Well, obviously, this was just really quick because I ran out of room. But you do covering the one eye. You do that high fashion look with a simple nose, the lips, the big red lips, and just a closed eye. But really making it look, so that the so that the top hat adds to the quirkiness of the dress, but it doesn't take away from it.
And it's also black, which is grounding, but with the floral, I can add some beautiful flowers on it. Now, Eliot's pulled up this vector, again, a free vector on the computer, but I don't like it, I want it crooked.
Well, but I just draw it crooked.
Oh, you
see?
draw it. Oh,
you see, I draw it crooked.
So
I wouldn't draw it flat on. I draw it like this, and then it would be crooked. So let me draw. So what I'll do is I'll just draw the eye. I'll just draw this high fashion looking eye with the Sharpie marker on it. I'll draw. Where's your? I'll just draw some lips.
Now this pattern, I think, has like the eye pattern. Remember, it has one eye, but we're going to be doing it a little bit different. And the pattern actually has the other eye, but we're doing this different because I think the face can either make it or break it. It can either look weirdly funky, or like googly-eyed and strange. So I think that the less we have going on in the face, the better. More like a fashion sketch.
So you do it like that. Maybe
So
make
now,
this just a tad more. Let me just top that.
I think that has to be bigger.
Okay, just wait 1 second here. No, yeah, I know. Here it is. Here it is. There you go.
Yes.
That's way too big.
That's way too big.
So right around, let me just pop it right around. I think right around.
Because we were saying it's almost the girl's face is almost life size. It's almost life size.
Right around there.
I like that. Yeah, that looks good. So, that looks great.
So, just as
we did this with my bicycle penny farthing. You can get images. Look at that. So I'll be cutting this out in black, and then as Eliot was saying, those white highlights, I'll just do a sliver of white or maybe silver, maybe white, to show the highlight. So I'll cut this out. This is my actual pattern Eliot's making me. And then the white band, I'll do a crisp white band, and then I'll put some flowers on the hat to soften her hat, like a bohemian hipstery girl would have. Maybe a feather coming out of the side. So this is a collaborative effort. There's my highlight, and there's a highlight. There's a highlight of white. So there's my pattern. I think it's awesome. I love it.
Now, just as a test, let's see on the thing how it would look. Take this off
with flowers on it.
Now, where's all the flowers? Where's all the flowers that you're going to put in her hair?
Right here.
Let's see how it would look.
That pattern is slightly. That pattern is slightly fatter faced. So.
Well, we'll.
My pattern
this is really because you already have the head here. Because you already have the head here. This is really just for the top hat.
Yeah, this is just for the top hat. That face. That's so cool.
I'd quite frankly do smaller.
Do smaller flowers.
Smaller flowers, but it's already coming together.
Look at that. So a black. The face is funky. The face. She looks like she's on steroids because it's all puffy. But the other one is. Oh yeah, look at that.
I'm going to do that one.
So here's the whole bag. So Eliot's just experimenting with the top hat, which I really love. Let me see down here. Let me see. Oh, I love it. I love it. And he's right. Now I am going to be putting the flowers around the side, the borders, not all the way around. Just
you really just don't want it to distract.
No, the girl's going to be the focal. So.
Oh, that's too big. It's a shame. All these flowers are really big, but maybe that'll be something like that. I'll throw that in there. Throw that on top of that.
So you get the idea. Oh, I love it. I love it. And, would you have her red lips? I just put her red lips in there.
The blue in there. Where? Oh, you put the red lips in there? I put the
red lips in there, yeah. Pull them all out. That's okay. They're her lips. Oh, where is it?
Right here.
Right here. So look at that. on a slimmer face. I love it with a black top hat.
Well, where's
That's
the
absolutely super.
Where's that marker at? I'll
I love
my face up.
No, that's okay. That's all right because I have to do the pattern anyway. So, and then these flowers, again, an explosion of flowers, just on the bottom, and on the bottom right and the top left. All my flowers there. So that's our process. I have Eliot to help me here in my sewing room. He's clever. We're going to slim her face down. We're going to put a beautiful top hat on, maybe with a big feather coming out, maybe a 3-dimensional. But I like that better, and as I think he's right with this dress. I think he's right. Let the dress take center stage, and then my flower border. And then we have to be real careful to make her fabulous on her, not on the sketch, on her actual face. Because I was saying the face can either make or break this quilt. I think looking a little bit alien and strange. So it looks a little bit alien and strange right now, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, you would come in right around here.
Yeah.
And right around here, just point.
Yeah. I just did that. Yeah, careful.
Point that there.
Careful. Doesn't go through.
Point that there.
Yep. Yep. So what do you guys think? I think it's awesome. Thank you, Eliot.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Isn't he lovely? Thank you. So again, work in progress, but look, what do you think? We have to put the flesh color fabric on, but look at that. The hat needs to be slightly over to this way, Eliot. I got these lips. They're actually oh, maybe I like that nose. Yeah, they're actually like a thick applique, but I like them. It looks like really big red lipstick.
That's just a piece of thing.
Just want a sliver. Nah, it's a little bit too. Looks like do I like it with the nose? So the hat just brings. We have to bring it over slightly. I like that. Anyway, we're just messing about, but look, I love it. So we're going to put the flesh color fabric on. Eliot's just in here. We're just messing about with her. But I really like it. And then the flower garden, the flower, explosion of flower on the top. But that's it. It's more like high fashion this, as opposed to like hippie. High fashion, steampunky looking. So we're going to mess around with the nose, we're going to mess around with the face, but that's the look. Our top hat is, and our girl's coming along. Now we're getting a little punch drunk, Eliot. And look what we've done. Okay, so I got this crazy dot. Oh, I don't like it on that side.
Yo,
no.
Just
She
one
looks
side?
She looks like an Orthodox Jew. You know those ringlets? But what do you think?
Oh gosh.
No, I like the way you had it. That we have to do this really careful. I like that. No, I like that. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like it.
I like that. I don't know
if I like it. I don't know if I like it. Oh, well, she's sleek though, and that's sort of like Annie, you know,
Annie.
Little Annie, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're still messing about with it, and we still have to put her flesh on. This is just on the foundation. But what do you think? No, just a little tiny bit, right up there.
Tiny wisp hanging out.
Just a little tiny wisp. Yeah, there. Or I have blonde.
Let's see what the blonde. Let's see what it looks like with the blonde.
Okay, now hold on. Here's the blonde. This is doll hair. I know. Oh! What do you think? Oh my word!
That looks cool.
Oh my word! That's
Red
so cool.
lips,
Red lips, blonde hair, boho, steampunk.
That's like Kim Basinger in LA Confidential.
She does look like Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger with like the red lips, yellow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're still tweaking it, but I think this is going to be looking.
That looks best.
That looks the best.
I think that looks
on
great.
one side, the hat tilted to one side, the blonde
really
hair.
High fashion looking.
So this is. This is
I don't think this side would work.
No.
Nope, it's this side.
It's that
for sure.
side. Yep.
Pull it to one side.
So there we go, folks. We're gonna have a blonde bombshell with a funky gypsy dress, top hat, and we think I'm gonna have a little tiny. You see the little beauty mark We're going to have that tiny, I'm going to have a little black bead there. And she's going to have a fabulous necklace when I bling her out. So this is just the beginnings. You see the highlights on the hat that we put? Eliot put silver highlights on the top hat to make it a bit more real. The blonde hair. Oh my word. So cool, Eliot. Thank you.